Hey everybody, welcome to episode 65. I had a long
66.
60. It's Aaron. It's been a long weekend with the kids and just with the job and all this hoopla with what's going on in the world.
Right.
There's just so much, and I just didn't get a lick of sleep last night. Is that a phrase? Do people say a lick of sleep, or did I just combine things?
Sometimes that can happen, but because maybe it's an idiom, like a separate idiom, but you're combined, it's like it works anyways.
Right.
Because I do that all the time, but it's like people get the point.
Yeah. No, totally. Anyway, so we're recording today. We're recording on Sunday. It's Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. All the daddies out there.
Happy Father's Day, Aaron. How was it? How was it?
It's good.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky. I don't got much to complain about. It's a nice muggy day here.
Hey, wait, give me one.
Little...
Sorry, give me 1 second. I actually have to. All right, I'm going to sync that up. Sorry,
Do you want to just start over?
No. It's okay. It's okay.
What's the problem?
I thought my thing wasn't recording, but it was. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I think we need to talk more about you. What's going on with you?
What do you mean? What's going on with me?
I mean, some of the listeners might be surprised to hear, like, that you got a family, that you got kids.
Yeah, they're downstairs.
That you've grown a full beard since the last episode.
Well, I haven't had time to shave. It's just so
Right.
busy. I'm so busy all the time with having three.
You have three kids.
30 kids.
You got 30 kids.
30 kids, and I have 3 wives. I have 10 kids per wife.
Mm-hmm.
They're Mormon. They're Mormon. Their husband died. I converted to fill the shoes. So none of the kids are biologically mine.
Right.
I'm just kind of stepping into a Brady Bunch on steroids situation.
Yeah, but you're that father figure that all 30 of those kids need.
Yeah, it's a lot of driving to soccer practice. It's a lot of helping with math homework.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much been doing a Herald 24/7.
Yeah, I can imagine.
For those of you who don't know, a Herald is an improv game. I'm just constantly just goofing around, just trying to keep the kids happy.
30 kids.
Making love to my 3 wives. We have to have only foursomes. There's only time to do foursomes. I can't do separate sessions with each wife. So it's only foursomes.
Sorry, ladies, it has to be this way.
Yeah, there's just no time otherwise because I'm also working. I'm working 80 hours a week.
80.
I'm working 80 hours. 80, yeah.
Tell me about your kids. Can I hear the names?
There's Samantha. There's Charlotte. There's Miranda. There's Joey, Chandler, Rachel. There's Jim, Pam, Michael, Dwight, BJ Novak. There's Marsha.
It sounds like you're telling the truth. I thought for a second you were going to be fibbing me, but you clearly know all their names. So
yeah, there's Daggett, Norbert,
mm-hmm.
Norbit, Daggert. How's your family?
Everybody's peachy keen. I got some homemade cards this morning.
Aw.
Which is just the best. None of that. Get all that Hallmark junk out of here. I want the real hand drawn.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
I don't need anybody else writing my messages for me.
That's gonna sit in a shoebox.
Yeah.
What do you? Because you've probably gotten cards for a few Father's Day now. Do you have all of them saved from?
Some families might do it differently. So because I'm adding artwork into this as well. The girls, all the kids make a lot of art, and so you kind of have to pick and choose. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that parent. But I'm talking to all the other parents out there. it's not all going up on the wall. Okay. If
Uh-huh.
they're making art at the rate that my kids are making art,
Yeah.
it's like I'd be sleeping in papers. Okay?
Yeah, you got to edit. You got to edit.
Yeah, you got to edit. Okay. You got to kill your darlings. And some of these are just not making the cut.
Because you got
But I love them all the same.
There got some clunkers coming out.
Yeah. Sometimes the kids just want to they want to express themselves really quickly. And it's kind of like us, like I just want to create something, but then
Right,
you do
yeah.
it like really quick and haphazard, and it's like, oh, this is kind of
Right.
crappy. But
Did they ever point to the toilet and they go, "This is art," like a Marcel Duchamp ready-made?
oh no, not yet. But yeah, maybe I should start.
They'll just start going, "Daddy,
Opening their
look at
world
this
that
sofa. This is art. This is a part of the Dadaist movement. This is a ready-made."
Well, my youngest will start picking up some of the girls' papers and be like, trash, because he's learning what trash is. So
Oh yeah.
he's kind of going the opposite end.
Do you think he'll be more of like a fire truck kid or a garbage truck guy?
Dude, all trucks.
Yeah.
All
What
trucks.
is
I don't
up
think
with,
he's at the age.
what's up with boys in trucks? I don't get it.
Okay, so I don't yet know if kids find their attachments because of the stuff we're putting in front of them. I mean, like, he's seen garbage trucks outside, and that excites him. So that is probably enough. But then, when you're gifting him toys that are like every variant of truck and all these cars, it kind of makes sense for him to gravitate towards them,
Right. Yeah.
What are your kids into? I mean, 30, that's got to be a whole span of different interests.
Well, we have it's enough kids to have we have rugby games. Mm-hmm. We could split it. We do 15 on 15 tag, steal the gold, football, soccer.
You just do all the sports.
Yeah, this summer we are going to put on a Pirates of Penzance play.
Really?
Yeah, we're kind of moving into theater a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Some of the kids have shown interest in wanting to put on plays, and I mean we have, there's more kids than there are roles, unfortunately. So, and I'm casting them. So, Janet had to cast Janet as a tree, and she was like, "But Marsha, she always gets the lead roles." And I'm like, Janet, you're not good at acting. You suck.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to just be like,
Yeah, the wives encourage me to be brutally honest with the children.
mm-hmm. Now, how do the wives get along with each other?
Everyone's great.
Really?
Harmony in the household. Yeah, everyone gets along.
I could not imagine having that many kids and that many wives, and it's just pure bliss.
In a 2-bedroom, no less.
Really?
Yeah. This is my office. So I go like I have Daddy has his office, and I will go to the homestead, which is just like a 2-bedroom on 1 acre of land.
Who knew polyamory was where it's at?
Yeah. It's
You didn't even know until you fell into the situation where all these women. It's crazy too. All 3 of these women lost their husbands.
well, one husband. They had
right. It would have been one, just one.
It was one husband, and they were
Oh,
out.
okay.
I was at the It's not funny. A man
No.
died and left a family.
You're right. How did he die?
I was at the Dollar Tree and I saw these 3 women grieving, mourning. They were, and I said, "Excuse me, ladies, what's wrong?" And they said, "Oh, our husband just died, and we have 30 children, and we're here at the dollar store. We can just barely get by." And I was like, I offered just to do some yard work. I was like, "Can anything I can do to help?" And they said,
Yeah.
"Come by and do some yard work for us." I said, "Okay," and so I did. And then just kind of one thing leads to another. Then I was like playing with the kids because they're all around. They're like they're out coming out of the woodwork, hanging off the rafters,
Right.
the gutters, and they said, you just want to let's just have you step in full time.
So the movie Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
That's like you, but just times 3. I think, did they make 3 movies? It's basically 3 movies is your life.
Feels that way, man. It feels that way.
Wow. That's incredible.
It doesn't stop. And it's beautiful. Every moment feels like I feel like this is a scene in a movie. Oh, this
Like the kids are jumping on the bed to wake you up.
Yeah. This could have been a scene in a movie, and I think I should write all this down. I should make this this should be an indie comedy.
I'm surprised TLC hasn't reached out to you.
They might. So what did the kids bring you like a pretend tea party in bed?
No.
And you had to go, this is good.
I've been pretty into matcha lately, but even my wife was like, I realized this morning, like, oh, we could bring daddy matcha in bed, but I don't know how to make the matcha that you like. So no matcha in bed. But we did have a good breakfast. And yeah, the kids got me gifts. I got gifted a massage to a massage parlor that I'm quite fond of.
Yeah, how fond of it are you?
Very fond. It's a great massage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That it?
60 minutes.
Not 69 minutes?
I don't think they offer... I think the highest they offer is like maybe an 80-minute.
Okay. Well, sorry.
So, as a dad,
yeah.
you probably don't... Do you get out a lot? Or are you like...
Like I mentioned, man, I'm working 80 hours. The only time I get out is when I'm at the office, working 80 hours a week, come home, improv with the kids.
80 hours, though? You
We
probably don't see
have
them.
rehearsals now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do for a living? Because that might have changed since our last talk, too.
I work at I'm the receptionist at a mechanic at an auto body shop.
Okay.
I answer the phones. I do the paperwork. I do the books, actually. I don't actually do any of the manual labor. I'm there just to keep the place clean. I put funny trinkets on the wall. You know, you walk into like a mechanic place and it seems to have a lot of character. There's a lot of shit on the walls. Like I curate a lot of that.
Sure.
So that's what I do.
That's great. Good for you. I'm
Yeah.
glad that's great. And in America, to have a job like that to support 30 kids is pretty remarkable.
It's really hard.
That's
It's really hard to do.
I know, but it's a testament to just how strong things are here.
But it still can be done. Don't let them fool you. It's really not that hard out. It's really not that bad.
At the end of the day, we just need people working. You know, like hey, there's jobs available. People just don't want to work.
And I got 30 farm hands on the way. By the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know that a lot of people.
You could really homestead it up.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to need to replace the labor force that is being removed from this country that Trump is now regretting removing from the countries. But I got 30 on the way. Just give another 8 years, and they'll be strong enough to work a plow.
Yeah, tell them don't worry about. I mean, like they don't need to worry about going to college.
Yeah,
because I don't think you need to go and like pick spinach, right?
No, I mean it is no. You don't need a degree. It's a skilled job, but you don't need a degree to do it.
That's great. Well, then they're set.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we did both attend.
There was something yesterday.
Protests this weekend.
Is yours? I mean, everywhere, right? Was all under the umbrella of the No King protests?
Correct.
No Kings.
Yeah. I'm curious.
We probably had very different experiences.
Where was it? Was yours in Cleveland or was it in Twinsburg?
Oh, geez, I just kicked my camera. No, it was in a neighboring town.
Okay.
A very, very far cry from L.A.
What town was it in?
It was in Hudson.
Okay. Oh, Hudson. That's actually surprising.
Yeah.
Because there's money there.
Yeah.
There's rich people there, so you would think.
But also there are older people there.
There's what?
And I will tell you, there are older people. And there was a big show of get your hands off my Medicaid.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, lots of seniors out in force.
Nice.
So many so that I was like, I got to be careful. I don't want anybody to fall. We were at a parade the other week and an elderly person fell. And that's no joke, dude. When somebody falls.
Yeah.
And I mean, with protests, you know, you got people waving signs. You got like, there's a lot going on. We're like right up by the street.
How like when kids fall all the time and it's fine, and an old person falls, you're like, oh my God, they just exploded inside.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just internally combusted.
Yeah. It's just, not the same. Yeah, watching my kids throw themselves off of furniture and I'm like, whoa, careful. And then I have to remind myself, like, oh, that's just really for me.
Their bones are practically rubber still.
I can step wrong and be like, well, there goes my ankle for a whole month.
How many people do you think were at the one you went to?
Okay, so if I had to guess, I would say like 200, 300, maybe. It seemed like in the realm of, because I was expecting, because I didn't know what to expect. But when I was heading there, I was like, okay, maybe this would be cool if there was like 24 people there. And then when I like drove up on it and I could just see from way far away, I could see like a blur of signs. And I was like, oh, damn, okay, they're coming out. So yeah, I would say, which for that, I was really impressed. And then I saw videos in like Chicago and LA's. Was LA's spread out or was there a central place?
It was pretty much centralized too. They were all over the city. But it was mostly centralized to downtown outside of City Hall. But, you know, they had people were marching in WeHo and, well, people were voguing in WeHo. And Echo Park and Silver Lake.
Yeah, so they had like little
there were little
pockets.
Little
pockets.
And sorry, actually my dad just was texting me right now. Okay,
yeah, he's probably saying Happy Father's Day.
Step grand, yeah, yeah, he is. He's congratulating me on my my find. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I went downtown with some friends, and we took the train down and stepped into a large sea of people that were marching around just down around the block, and a lot of funny signs. So many clever signs.
Oh, LA's. I mean, it's obvious, but when I was seeing pictures from LA, I was like, oh man, the creativity is off the charts.
Yeah, there's some fun. There was a guy with a huge, like a paper mache Trump head that like looked. It didn't look corny. It looked like really good too. It looked like it was like done well.
Yeah.
And yeah, went down to City Hall. Saw the National Guardsmen. They were bored. They were not enthused to be.
Oh boy,
not enthused to be there.
Here we go.
And then only stayed for a couple hours. I think I left around 2, and then they gave a dispersal order around 5, and that's when they were ramming horses into people and shooting.
I did see that
canisters at people.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, it didn't get like. Then I saw some videos later, apparently, of people like trying to loot, and then the crowd stopping them.
Yeah. So nobody wants it to be a violent thing.
Yeah, of course.
And also, I mean, if like it needs to be said, you know, like don't do that shit.
Yeah. No, there's people going to take advantage of the situation, but yeah, no, it was actually it was everything went well considering. And then I was sitting at home. It was like 9 o'clock, and I was ready to just like clock out for the night. All the kids had been put to bed by this point.
Right, of course.
Early bedtime.
Yeah, so, I figured.
And I had finished having sex with the wives too.
All 4.
Everything was done. Brushed my teeth. And then some friends called me. They're like, "We heard that ICE are staying in this Hilton. We're gonna go bang pots and pans outside the hotel." They're like, "Do you want to come?" And I said, "All right, okay, sure." So I got a pan, I got a pot and a wooden spoon. And
oh man,
we were outside this Hilton, and it started with about maybe like 20 people, and it was pretty lame at first. It was like blink, 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 and then by the time like 3 hours later, it had grown about 60 people. Someone brought a guitar with an amp. There were saxophones, trombones, vuvuzelas, whatever those things are called.
Wait, so when you guys were there, were other people that were coming up and joining you, like they had to been made aware, right?
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't, you're right, yeah.
Nobody just like assume,
yeah.
Oh yeah, we know this is happening. And did you guys get any police called on you?
No. The cops showed up. They drove like around in the like a little roundabout in front of the hotel. We didn't get approached by any police officers.
That's kind of surprising.
In fact,
be making that much noise for that long.
Yeah, dude, it was. I was talking with my friend who was there. We both had the same experience of after a certain point, you were just kind of entered a trance state. I mean, I banged on this pot rhythmically for like an hour, like longer than that. But like I would take little breaks. And at a certain point, it is because also I asked the person I went with, I said, how do we know they're here? She goes, it's been verified.
It's a thing.
And I'm like, okay.
We got somebody on the inside.
I'm like, okay. And at a certain point, I'm just standing outside this building, like banging a pot at it, and I'm looking up, and I go, if they're not here, or if we were just doing this with just cause, it just was an absurd thing for human beings to be doing, and because people in the hotel were like coming out, some were looking, and they seemed like kind of they seemed to be entertained by what was happening. I saw one guy like do this, like. I saw a silhouette do like a, oh my God.
Yeah, like why?
And then,
but that could have been ice.
Could have
been target acquired. Bam.
And then as we were leaving, I was with another friend, and I said, "And do we know that they were there?" He goes, "We're not like sure, but
What?
He goes, but send some messages to these hotels that you can't have. Don't do
That's
that."
the dumbest thing. You can't organize something like that and not know. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's so silly, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, I
just
bet.
like just to be like outside with a group of like 60 people just making noise at a hotel. If you kind of if you divorce it from any meaning, it was just absurd and silly and kind of fun. Did
it ever evolve into music, or was it never at the state of music because it was just chaos?
There were a couple snare drum players that were keeping a rhythm, but for the most part it was just chaos.
Just chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, proud of you for doing your duty.
Ruined my wooden spoon.
Somewhere out there, there's people complaining to their wives like, "What the? Last trip ever to LA."
Doesn't Antifa have anything to do on a Saturday night?
Yeah, dude, you are Antifa now.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
It sounds like you had a very productive. Mine did not last that long.
Hey man, you were out there, dude. You were part of the country, the whole country. It was a whole countrywide.
I heard it was like around 5 million people.
Yeah, it was a whole nationwide effort.
Which that feels like pretty impressive numbers.
Did you watch any of the military parade?
No, in fact, I had forgotten that it was happening until I saw your story where you were shitting on their like poor marching.
Right,
which I thought was so funny.
And then I was reading comments all day, and there were people who they're like, "I'm a veteran, and I can tell you, they know how to march. They don't want to."
Oh yeah, like this was their way of like showing like, I don't want to be here.
They were like, this is their weekend, and it got ruined so Trump could have his little birthday party.
Yeah.
Which then they were rebranding. I feel like it started as it was Trump's birthday, but then it's the military's birthday. But
because what was it, 250th or something?
I guess it all happens to fall on the same day. Like
as God wanted it.
It's not about him. It's about the military's birthday. We've never done this before. Has there ever been a march, like a military parade?
I don't know. Not in my recent.
Has a president ever called for a military parade?
I don't know.
I'm not.
But either way, I did not watch any of it, and didn't care to.
Mm-hmm.
The flyovers by the jets during a football game is as much as I need to be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how much did that cost? How much money did we just waste?
I was reading about I was gonna do a bit where, because the guy doing there was like an announcer, and he was talking about the equipment as it rolled through.
Okay.
It was informational.
You wish that he gave like price tags on everything?
Well, he sounded like a Price is Right segment. He goes, and the Jeep, it's not an ordinary Jeep. This Jeep, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this sounds like a game show.
Yeah.
And so I started to edit a video together where I was going to put the Price is Right music over like things and then play characters like betting on, or, guessing the price tag. But I was like, I don't feel like doing that. But anyway, I was reading about the Abrams tank because I was trying to like get information. Apparently the Abrams tank gets less than a mile to a gallon of gas.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are gas guzzling monsters. They're the Abrams tanks are kind of logistic nightmares because they're so heavy. They require so much support. to just function. If they break down, they have to be flown back to if they need to go like to a specialized shop. So yeah,
they have to,
just
like literally load them into a plane or something to bring them to.
So the gas in the tanks alone was just a huge waste.
Is the Abrams tank like the best tank that we have in the military? Do you know?
I think it's kind of like the AK-47 of tanks.
It's just like a workhorse.
Yeah, I think so. I could be completely wrong, but
I'm just gonna take your word for it, and we're gonna spread that misinformation out to everybody. And now it's yours.
There you go.
Take it. Yeah, no, there's like I mean, the amount spent in the military is just like, whenever I hear price tags on either stuff that we're buying or, like other countries are buying from us, I'm like, say that again?
Right.
What?
And a lot of times when we sell things to countries, we're not just selling the equipment, Aaron. It's a package. You got to sell all the spare parts. You got to sell training. You got to sell, we got to keep, it's like,
because we send people over and like, hey,
they got to know how to use it. They got to get the ammo. It's like, you're not just buying
Can't we just send them a Loom video or something?
It's sort of like it's a subscription service.
And they call a hotline. That seems like a waste.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the way, it's, you got to keep.
Abrams tank tutorial. I'm going to Google it and I bet you I can learn.
I'm sure it's on there.
I'm sure there's a Abrams tank simulator, like flight simulator. Why don't we just do that?
Sure
have the company that made that make one for the Army, and we'll do an ultra realistic VR rig, and then they don't got to go anywhere, and then people just pop on their Meta Quest. Oh, look at that! I just learned how to operate a tank, and I didn't even have to leave home.
I'm sure someone's built one. Have you actually ever seen those videos of there are video games that are tank games, and people built their own controller systems that are like the inside of a tank?
Yeah, and they have like the friends that are doing like they have the whole piston thing.
They load
that's
the
like,
2-liter Coke.
Yeah, the 2-liter Coke bottles to simulate the cartridge. Yeah. That's cool. That's just guys being dudes.
Yeah, that's the ingenuity of that's the creativity afforded to Americans with freedom.
That's somebody being like, what would be fun, and then they actually did it. And those are sometimes the best ideas, is when you actually go through with it, which I think I'm finding now with the internet existing, you see a lot more of that. Like you ever see something and you're like, who would take the time to do this? Mm-hmm. And then you realize like, well, of course they're gonna share it out.
Right.
And it's the joke. The work is worth the bit itself because it's getting shared and so many people can't believe like, oh my God, they took the time to do that. And it's a thing. It's like, yeah, and now you're watching it.
The more effort that gets put into the
menial things,
right, is the better.
Yeah, it's better.
I'm trying to now relate that back to like something about the whole military parade, but anyway. Okay, so we fixed it. We solved the world's problems, right?
Yeah, I think it's done.
We marched.
Did you wake up to news this morning that was like, we did it?
Yeah, they said Iran and Israel hugged it out.
Cool.
And then
Trump said he's like, oh, I think I saw Trump say like, I'm done being a bad boy.
Yeah, he said I pretty much had an ego death. This was the equivalent of taking mushrooms, of a heroic dose of mushrooms, having my ego crushed so thoroughly under the boots of the marching protesters, and I was reborn. I've been reborn into a new man, and I don't want to be the way I was before.
I'm so glad that worked.
I want to love my wife. Did you see the video of him sitting there? He just looks so upset, and the look on Melania's face is like, it's like, good. It's like, she's like, I could be obviously reading into it, but that's what it looked like. That's
what the media wants you to think.
She was just sort of like pleased that was not working out. I'm trying now to find. Anyway, sorry, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. So what else? Oh, and also, sorry, Cooper couldn't be. Cooper couldn't be here today.
Almost towards the end of the
30
episode.
minutes.
Hey,
30 minutes.
Cooper.
Whatever. It's just expected now.
Cooper.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that, Coop. Coop's
got two things to clear up. Well, yes, it is Father's Day. We'll excuse this. And we decided purposefully to postpone.
Couldn't he also not do it Friday, though?
He couldn't do it any. I think he's booked for the next 17 years. But Cooper's got two things to clear up. One, his schedule. because you know what? He's not prioritizing us, okay? And we're his best friends, okay?
Right.
So, Coop, I'm saying this loud and clear. I don't care about who else in your life you think deserves that time. We deserve it, okay?
Yeah,
because we got your back. 2, Coop's got to fix his internet. Because last couple times we've had Coop on, we've had some snafus.
Someone made a joke about how Cooper has this huge microphone in his face and the worst audio quality.
Oh wait, what happened? Last episode it didn't record he wasn't recording right.
It recorded, he got like the first 10 minutes, but then somewhere it got out of sync, and I didn't feel like trying to sync it up. So
so it was there. It was just like
it was not even the majority. It was less than a majority of the audio was good, and some of it was out of sync, and I didn't feel like trying to sync it up. So I just used his mic audio for the whole thing, or his phone audio for the whole thing.
Why would his? Oh well,
I don't know.
That's weird. You guys, we're 66 episodes in, and we're still figuring out the pod. All right, the technicalities. We also talked about bringing it over to Discord. Oh, that's something we should do, or we should talk about. Is that, we've discussed launching YouTube memberships,
Right.
and if we do that, then we can like have people maybe join in live and or get episodes early, which might be a thing we're
Is
considering.
that something?
So.
And what would you pay for membership? I'm thinking we do one flat $4.
Yeah. What do people always do? It's a cup of coffee. You know what's funny is now that like just everything is going up in price. Now it's like more like you can get away with like $5.99 and still be like, "Oh, it's a cup of coffee."
Coffee with tip in my neighborhood. It's like $7 for a cup of coffee. It's like, what is going on? This is insane. I can't afford this. I have 30
is that
kids.
really just a cup of coffee?
There's a place near me that it's like
drip coffee.
The fucking drip coffee.
That's stupid.
It's 6 and change.
I thought you were gonna say it was like some like latte or some kind of specialty
drip
drink.
coffee. It's like
What?
6 and change.
What?
It's stupid.
Where? Name and shame. What?
No, I'm not gonna.
Blast them, dude. Go on that Yelp and blast.
No, I just stopped going there.
Yo, well that works too.
I just stopped going there.
That's my pet peeve when people. I mean, I guess the price would be justified for a bad review, but you ever read reviews and people are like blasting for no reason, like something that, like Amazon, it happens a lot. Amazon is the company that ships the product, but people will review bomb 1 star and say, "Oh, this came broken." Like, well, okay, it's not the company's, it's not the act of the company, it's Amazon. Right. You know,
Well,
like it feels like
it
it needs
been.
to be.
What if the Amazon got it and it was broken?
That's true, but I feel like that's less likely.
Yeah. I was trying to find.
I was gonna bring back, because I think you're just internet searching right now. I was gonna bring back Cool Corner.
Oh, that's great. Also, I feel like we've missed a couple of question time on the last couple.
Yes, we have. Let me see if I have any.
We need to get better. We need to get better by integrating our community into the podcast, especially if we want to launch a membership.
Well, this is what I was going to text you when you threw me off with your mime bit last week.
Oh, okay.
Fair, but I was going to text you and be like, we need a format. It doesn't need to be, because this is something we grapple with phone calls, because you're like, I don't want to be boxed in, which is fine. But also, like, I need some structure. So we need to find that middle ground. And I think that these segments could be that. Like, we could do Cool Corner. We could do FND question. Are you opening up your robe so we can see more chest hair?
Sorry, a little bit. Yeah.
I think people get the point.
Yeah. All right, sorry. Cool Corner. We have Cool Corner question time.
Let me see if I still have any of those questions. I don't know if I
Vin's Bits is the whole episode.
See, there was one, but it was really about all of us. And so I feel like we got to wait for Cooper to be there for this one.
Okay.
There was also another one. Cameron asked, would be neat to hear about your guys' process on lighting scenes. Do you prefer natural lighting over using lights themselves, or is there any particular mood you lean more towards?
That's not really a question. I'm not a technical guy when it comes to the lighting. How do we light? I mean, whatever fucking looks cool. Well, it depends what the sketch is. You know, lighting what was the one where the mafia eats the reconnaissance guy?
Oh, stakeout.
Lighting stakeout versus lighting the one where the cop, the narcotics cops one. I can't think of the names of any of these.
The grass?
The grass, yeah.
Dude. And you've been posting them on social media.
I know. Lighting, it's a very different approach to lighting those. Obviously, the grass, high key lighting, it's like a sitcom set. Whereas stakeout is more cinematic. Kind of just depends if we want to make if what we're making is considered to be a short film or it's a sketch.
Yeah, it's really how much time you want to put into it and the look you're trying to achieve. I think for us, yeah, it just depends on the project. I mean, you and also the balance of how much time you have, how cinematic do you want it to look?
Which friend did Taylor Russ have a whole day to give to
did he
us?
have more time to plan? Taylor has shot so much of our stuff, but then it's like, he's oftentimes a one-man band when it comes to, lighting and shooting. And so we lean on him, and he's really just telling us where to place everything. If you have a whole crew and you have time, then get after it,
right?
Make it awesome. Make it awesome. But if you don't, then I would say my one tip would be, if you don't have the time to worry about lighting, worry about audio more. There's nothing that says amateur on videos, on whether it's a short that you're making or something, than poor audio.
Yeah, that immediately undercuts the quality of anything. It could I
could watch something that's filmed like dog shit on VHS camera, because that could be excused as a style. Oh, this is just the style in which we're shooting. But if it's poor audio, very rarely is that the excuse that it's it's supposed to be like this.
Yeah, no, it's never supposed to sound like shit. So make sure you get a nice microphone.
Nice mic.
Get a nice mic. Hi, my name's Nice Mike.
Which of the guys, this is from PFC Jones, which of the guys is the most conventionally handsome and which is the most unconventionally handsome? Is that something we're even going to answer?
I don't know.
I think we need Cooper for that one.
Yeah.
I think that was really it. I can take a poll and get some more questions in here. Okay, cool corner.
All right, I'll go. You want to do?
Yeah, this is my cool corner, is that my sister-in-law is much more in touch with trendy toys and games and stuff. And she just got my kids, they're called Space Molly. They're
that sounds like a drug.
I know, but they're these little space astronaut figurines that have these retractable helmets. They're these little plastic figurines. They're really cool. I thought they were fun. And then she also got them a couple Labubu stuffies. Are you familiar with Labubu, Vin?
Okay, I feel like I just heard the word I read the word Labubu 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're hot now. They're hot.
What is a Labubu?
A Labubu is it's think of it like a pop vinyl, but it's like a stuffy, and they all have different outfits and faces, and I guess I think they're produced by Pop Mart. They're all the rage now. They actually Pop Mart might also do the Space Molly, but they're apparently very hard to get a hold of, and because they sell out really quick. And my sister-in-law got some.
It was, what I saw? It was some. I think I saw it. I think I saw it on this. It was some stupid meme. It was a guy it was a meme talking about how you can't be broke and date a woman. It was dinner, lashes, nails, good night out with the girlies, Labubus.
That's good. Yeah, because I think they're super expensive if you want to get a legit one, because people just buy them out and then they'll resell them.
They're the Beanie Babies. They're the new
Beanie Babies.
You still have any of those?
We have some of our old ones, but they have all their tags clipped off and they're all old and stuff. Those didn't retain any value like Pokemon, did they?
No.
I feel those, it would be maybe
I think you have
one.
I think if you have a misprinted Princess Dye Bear, and they actually misprinted it with tire tracks on it, those are worth
pretty
money.
Pretty effed up.
I know. Those are worth money.
Wow.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me, dude. Apologize.
I take it back. I'm sorry. Did I go too far with that one?
I'm not the judge.
I'm sorry.
You just put that on the world.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me.
I'm sorry.
All right, what's your cool thing?
Okay, I'm gonna be up my own ass with this one if you'll indulge me.
Always.
And it's only because it's Father's Day. Because it's Father's Day coinciding with a man who wishes to be the country's father. Am I going to read? And I had once read a book. I had once read this book called The Undiscovered Self by Carl Jung, and I remember reading a passage about he had something to say about like the father figure and politics.
Okay.
And so that's what, if you've been seeing me look off camera, I've been trying to Google like Jung quotes on fatherhood and politics.
Oh, to find what you had read.
To find what I had read. So I'm just gonna here. So my cool corner is this very attempting to be smart. I'm gonna read Jung on authority. I'm just gonna read this. I'm gonna read it. This is my cool corner. Okay.
Please go ahead.
Jung on authority. As I discussed in an earlier essay, part of the task of individuation, the term Jung used for our major psychological endeavor in life, involves our internalization of three loci: of control, of authority, and of security. The first we should begin to learn as toddlers with toilet training, i.e. learning to control bladder and sphincter muscles. The second begins to show up with the terrible twos, learning to say no, and takes on more adult forms during adolescence. But Jung recognized that some people never do internalize either of these loci. In playing the blame game, some people never take control of their lives. They complain about all the things in their lives they don't like, finding fault with others, but Jung had a different response. If things go wrong in the world, this is because something is wrong with the individual, because something is wrong with me. Therefore, if I am sensible, I shall put myself right first. As for the locus of authority, Jung was blunt about how he tackled that. For this I need, because outside authority no longer means anything to me, a knowledge of the innermost foundations of my being, in order that I may base myself firmly on the eternal facts of the human psyche. I'd have to I didn't even retain what that meant. Because he had internalized a locus of authority, deciding for himself what was right or wrong, ethical or moral, Jung did not give much attention to authority figures. He decried as neurotic those who bowed down before authority. He decried as neurotic those who bow down before authority and refuse the freedom to which they are destined. More than neurotic, such people Jung labeled as infantile. Okay, that's what I wanted to get to. If you worship a leader, you're a child.
Well, I think that, yeah, I mean,
which a lot of people will do in this country. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, I think that we've been trying to make. I don't know why our politicians need to be like somebody revered, like somebody that like you stake your life on. It's a politician.
It is an interesting thing where like you have to believe. You have to have an ego. You have to think like I can solve it, but then no one wants to.
Yes, it's like that weird thing. It's that weird thing where in most cases you don't want somebody, like you would say the worst person for the job is somebody who really wants it.
Right. But then who else is going to do it?
Right.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to this weird place where we are standing, if I can use a cool term from the kids, like these politicians that like they can do no wrong, that they, when you get to the point this goes for anybody, myself included, when you get to the point where like the person that you look up to, you feel like can do no wrong, or like they can say no wrong, or you find yourself excusing everything they've done, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, this goes anywhere in life too, doesn't outside of politics. Like you should not do that. Do not find yourself like so aligned with somebody that you're excusing away every bad behavior that they make. Mm-hmm. Like it's, I don't even know the word for it. It's just, it's not good. It's
infantile.
Yeah, infantile, to bring it back.
Yeah. Well put.
Well, I'll have to read that book.
Yeah, The Undiscovered Self. I think he wrote that one later in his life. But yeah. Anyway, all right, cool, man. Well, hey, listen, I don't want to keep you from
Yeah, dude, so you got stuff to do.
I got 30. We're rehearsing Act 3 today.
When's your next foursome?
In 30
Because you said really 30
minutes.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, they recharge pretty quick.
That's crazy because you were just saying that you had sex this morning.
Dude, it's constant.
Wow, man.
My days are packed. Like I could barely do this.
I'm glad you fit it in, man. I don't know what that's saying for Coop's. Coop has one child and he couldn't make it, so I mean, it's a little
I'm not gonna.
confusing
Hey,
to me.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to shit on.
You're right. Let's not
talk shit
compare.
about his parenting style and what he prioritizes in life. That's him.
Right.
That's I don't want to do that.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, hey, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Hey, likewise, man. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. This is FND Pod, episode 66. And thank you for being with us.
Swing you
Have a
later.
great week. Swing you later.